Have you ever wondered what it would be like to be a superhero? Well, wonder no more, because we've compiled a list of 15 gadgets that can turn you into an almost all-powerful superhero. Harness the power of the flame like a real superhero and buy a Pyro Fire Shooter. In case you're wondering what a Pyro Fire Shooter is, it's basically exactly what Spider-Man would use if he wanted to shoot fire instead of spiderwebs. Sold by the magic supply company Illusionist, the Pyro Fire Shooter is a discreet watch-like wristband that can shoot fireballs up to 10 feet away from your palm. You can also have someone else trigger the fireball far distances using a wireless remote, making you look like an actual legit wizard. The Pyro Fire Shooter is mostly used by professional magicians, but there's no reason why you can't grab one for yourself and pretend you're Harry Potter. Incendio! You too can be just like the immortal Hulk and dodge bullets like they're nothing with this beautifully tailored, totally classy bulletproof suit. The Garrison Bespoke Bulletproof Suit is made from the same carbon nanotubes used for troop uniforms in Iraq. The suit was originally conceived by Toronto tailor Garrison Bespoke, who kept getting requests from clients who work in the diamond industry for a bulletproof work suit to protect themselves from armed robberies. The suit will set you back about $20,000 US, but that's a small price to pay for saving your life, wouldn't you say? So if you've got a dangerous job, are the president, work at a jewelry store, or simply want to be the immortal version of James Bond, this suit will take you from average Joe to indestructible Joe. This device is pretty cool. It's basically an armband that makes you feel like a god. Remember that scene in Bruce Almighty where he makes a fire hydrant explode with a single gesture? That's basically what the MYO armband is, except you control technology. The armband reacts to muscles contracting in your forearm, which signals the MYO to work like a wireless remote on all your devices. Bend your wrist forward to fast forward through a video, bend it back to rewind. You can also hook up the MYO armband to your drone and control it with your hand gestures alone. It's as simple as downloading the MYO app on your wireless device, and before you know it, you're scrolling through Spotify with the flick of a wrist. This technology is still in development, but imagine being able to control your enemy's actions and behavior. Mind you, this wasn't Dr. William Tyler's motivation to create ultrasound mind control technology, but we can't help but ponder the dark side of this new invention. Transcranial pulsed ultrasound uses ultrasound technology to penetrate brain tissue, which when used properly can provide therapeutic benefits. The ultrasound waves can help calm someone or even make them raise their arm involuntarily. That's pretty freaky, wouldn't you say? Since this technology is in its infancy, there hasn't been any practical applications introduced, and maybe that's a good thing. I can totally picture ultrasound being a part of some supervillain's evil plot to turn the entire human race into an android army. Yikes, get me out of here. Also called the PVAC, this super cool vacuum backpack is basically straight out of Ghostbusters. It's a pretty heavy-duty contraption, but it's not really meant for the average person. The PVAC is being developed specifically for the Army, so they can climb battleground walls. Here's how it works. You've got two suction paddles that are held by the user in either hand, which are connected to a super powerful vacuum. And through this suction power, the user can then climb up any wall like a real-life superhero. To give you an idea of how powerful these suction paddles are, each one can hold up to 700 pounds of weight. That's crazy. The inventor of the PVAC hopes that soldiers will use this technology to climb war zone walls. However, the only thing keeping it from being used in the military is that the vacuum pack itself is incredibly loud. Not the best for stealthy escapes up an alleyway. Luckily, the team behind the PVAC has been given a $100,000 grant from the Air Force to make the technology better and quieter. You might think you can jump pretty high, but it's probably nothing compared to the heights you could reach on Kangoo jumps. Inspired by, you guessed it, kangaroos. Kangoo jumps are being used by cross-trainers, physiotherapists, and even kids. It's like a hands-free pogo stick. I feel like I'm a Kangoo jump spokesperson right now, but who wouldn't be excited at the prospect of jumping like a kangaroo? Ooh! I can guarantee that I would have had a pair of Kangoo jumps as a kid. I hear that some workout studios even use these super shoes in their fitness classes. Finally, a solution to the age-old problem. How do I jump as high as a kangaroo? When Rob Spence lost his eye in a shotgun accident, he decided to take a cue from Terminator and build his own cyborg eye. Over the years, Rob has created many different eyes for himself, including a glowing red one that looks exactly like the one in, yes, Terminator, as well as an eye that features a tiny video camera. For spying, perhaps? Recently, Rob has partnered with Marcin Jaworski, an ophthalmologist in Poland, to develop these prosthetic eyes for the masses. Marcin is one of the first in his field to use a 3D printer to print prosthetic eyes, but now he's stepping up his game. He's taking Rob's technology and developing an eye that can glow red and another one that can house a tiny video camera, similar to Rob's earlier model. If you're in the market for a prosthetic eye that makes a statement, now you know where to go. See what no one else can see. Every construction worker on the planet needs one of these thermal cameras for their smartphone. The Seek Thermal XR camera can be installed onto any smartphone to instantly turn your pocket device into a professional-grade thermal camera. Why would you want a thermal camera, you ask? Well, aside from ghost hunting, contractors and construction workers can use them to detect damaged insulation behind drywall, electrical faults, and broken HVAC systems. It's a pretty cool gadget, and even if you're not a construction worker, you can still get some good use out of it, like detecting if someone has a crush on you based on their rising body temperature. Genius! Have you ever wanted to blast out of the water like King Triton? Well, now you can. The X-Jet's jet blades are a total blast. Pun intended. The first thing most people think when they look at a jet blade is, what the heck is that thing? Well, it's basically a jetpack fueled by water. The X-Jet hose is attached to a jet ski, which by doing so instantly converts it into a floating pump. The force of the water exiting the jet ski gets pumped through the hose into the jet blade shoes or jetpack, and whoever's wearing them gets to do what every human has always wanted to do: fly. The whole system is pretty expensive, over $6,000, but the amount of fun and freedom you'll experience with jet blades is pretty priceless if you ask us. People have reported having spiritual experiences when they're up above the water, flying and doing tricks. If you've always wanted to know what it's like to fly, now's your chance. Okay, I dare you to convince me that the Avengers wouldn't use this. This is basically a double-decker submarine. If you can't decide between a motorboat and a submarine, this 2-in-1 subsurface watercraft is just the ticket. While your superhero buddy is on the top level, monitoring the surface for supervillains, you're in the cockpit, underneath, driving the ship. It's easily one of the coolest superhero vehicles pretty much ever. It'll cost you about $300,000 to get one of these of your ownership. But don't you think the panoramic view of the underwater world is worth it? American robotics company Megabots have managed to build a human-ride robot of gigantic proportions, and we're talking Iron Giant proportions. Megabots put out a Kickstarter campaign to build the giant battle robot America deserves. They challenged Japanese robotics company Suidobashi to build a robot to battle their own. Suidobashi graciously accepted, and even posted a video of their plans to obliterate Megabots, trolling them. Come on guys, make it cooler. Build something huge and stick guns on it super American. We can't let another country win this. Giant robots are Japanese culture. They insisted on a hand-to-hand battle, no guns allowed. Megabots accepted. Megabots are asking for $1.5 million on their Kickstarter to have enough money to add armor, build weapons, a balance system, and even give the robot a new patriotic paint job. This is like Iron Man, but cooler. If you're a fan of Batman, this is the golf cart for you. Manufactured by novelty leisure vehicle company Hammacher Schlemmer, this golf cart is the splitting image of Batman's famed tumbler car that he drove in the 2005-2012 Dark Knight movie series. The cart has a lot of crazy cool features, including bat wings that fold over the window to protect riders from incoming golf balls, and wheels that are exact replicas of the original ones from the movie. The cart goes for over $20,000, but if you're a die-hard Batman fan, you pretty much have to buy it. Iron Man is the all-American hero, and most of us would agree that no one in the world can live up to him. Until now. FutureWise, a robotics company in Beijing, has managed to create an exact replica of Iron Man's iconic suit. And though Tony Stark used his suit for fighting crime, this one is strictly for fun. Nothing dangerous about it. It might not give you actual superpowers, but it makes you feel like $1,000,000. You may have thought that the invisibility cloak was only a Harry Potter myth, but there's a company in Austin, Texas that has created a cloaking device that's pretty damn close to the ones you've read about in books. The cloaking technology can't currently hide objects from the human eye, but it can hide objects from being picked up by electromagnetic waves, radio waves, infrared, and visible light. The cloaks are made from metamaterials that have special properties that don't draw energy from an external power source. The plan is to use these cloaks for military radars, and who knows, maybe one day soon our Harry Potter dreams will come true, and we too will harness the power of the invisibility cloak. Every superhero has come from some kind of tragedy or has a secret weakness. The Orcam is a new technology made for people who are blind that recites written text and money in real time. It can also recognize faces, symbols, and traffic signs. It's like a superpower for the less powerful. So there you have it, 15 of the coolest superhero gadgets out there. Now the only thing left to do is save the world.